Elaine Paige and Barbara Dixon. I know him so well, and Elaine Paige has just been telling me that how the staging of this was changed at the very last minute.
Well, yes, it was something that, I don't know, for some reason or other, we didn't feel it was working quite as it should be, and I mentioned to Trevor that it concerned me slightly in terms of the plot, that the two women never really meet until the end.
Two women love the same man.
Yes.
Both on stage singing about him,
yes,
but not
and they
relating
had
to each
never,
other.
prior to this point in the show, have never met or confronted one another or even spoken or anything. And so I said to him, perhaps, you know, we could rethink it, and what would he think if possibly we actually sang this song to each other. And so we sort of talked about it a bit, and he said, well, let's give it a shot and see what happens. And so he redirected this number so that we would actually now sing it to one another, as if confessing our feelings and thoughts about this man.
So Trevor Nunn is taking advice from you. When are you moving to Stratford?
Please.
Now there's something that's rather disturbs me about this plot, because this whole business of her swinging from loving the American to loving the Russian, and it then transpires that she's got this background of parents who were in the Hungarian Rising, fathers. Was that all a surprise to you? And does it seem rather unusual in a musical to bring in sort of really quite profound political loyalties?
Well, a lot of that, of course, is a lot of that to do with the character, and the background of the woman, of course, is a lot to do with what happens off stage. It's sort of like subplot, if you like, which doesn't really have to involve the audience. It's mainly for me, I think, to be able to know exactly who I am, what I'm feeling about in regard to particular characters within the piece. So that was terribly helpful for me, because that was the kind of thing, in a way, that when one was making the record wasn't there. It hadn't sort of been rounded off, if you like, as a complete character. And of course now, the fact that she, as you've said, is Hungarian-born and left the country during the uprising, is with an American chess player who, part of his character is that he goads her and uses this particular, you know, every relationship has something within it where one has something on the other, you know, and in those times of stress or in times of whatever, you know, out it comes, out of the jar, if you like, and it's thrown at you, which is quite awful. But I'm sure that a lot of relationships do have that in them, and this is something that is incorporated within the American chess player's character, that he knows that that's an area of her life that is sensitive to her, obviously. I mean, she doesn't know her parents anymore and has lost them, so she believes, and it's also an integral part of the plot now that the politicians, the KGB, the CIA, all use this one device, if you like, the fact that possibly her father is still alive in Hungary, to try and manipulate her to get the Russian to lose, so that they can then say, aha, our defected chap is going to return, and so on. So it's yes, it is quite involved, and I think in many ways that it can be, or possibly will be, clarified somewhat. I mean, but I think it's made more of what was initially there on the album, certainly in terms of my character.
Now let's talk about this voice. I mean, they call you the belter. I mean, that was the phrase that was used in the press. It is a huge voice, Elaine.
Oh, but you haven't seen the key in my back, Joan. They wind me up before I go on, and then it kind of clicks round anti-clockwise.
Now it's growing, isn't it? I mean, it is getting a bigger voice.
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm all the time, in terms of being a singer, I'm trying to I don't know, I'm trying to find my small voice, if you like. I'm trying to learn to be able to use it when I need it, and to pull back and to sing quietly. It's the challenge that is always there, that I don't know, one never really, I don't think, unless you've trained for years and years, which I really haven't. I'm sort of spasmodic, if you like, in terms of when I visit my singing coach. You know, that's something that's always there to keep on improving all the time. So I like to think that it's getting better, yes, but who knows? I don't know.
Well, you've had a career that was a lot of straight acting in your career, and there've been a lot of
early on, yes,
and musicals, and generally occasional singing in different parts. Now, you must have been aware that the capacity you have. I mean, you're such a petite creature. Where was it coming from? I mean, presumably you
I don't know.
began to
I
get...
just breathe and open my
It
mouth
just
and out it
comes
comes. I mean, I
roaring
don't really think about it that much. I have to think more about that if one has to think about technically singing, which one does if one's going to be in a long run or something, as it with Evita, 20 months, I had to establish a technique for myself to be able to get through that period of time.
Do you have to watch it during the day, how you
Oh
use your
yes,
voice?
very much so. I have to rest. It's really very boring. It really is rather like being an athlete in training or something. You know, I have to be careful what I drink. And, you know, I've had one glass of wine here this evening, and that's it, and one cigarette, which is my treat after the show. And, you know, and I make sure I eat fresh food and sleep and rest and not talk too much on the telephone and so on and so forth. It is, well, I have to. That's my way of having to look after my voice. I have to do those things, otherwise I don't have a voice. So it's a bit dull and boring, really, but it's worth it, because if I go out there and I can't sing well, then what I feel after the show is so awful, it's just not worth it. So I'd rather put those demands on myself and limitations on myself during my day, so that the show works well. Otherwise, it's just too awful
Yes,
to bear.
you're a real trooper, I must say, to have to give it all of your life, really, to concentrate on that.
It's worth it.
Well, I must say also that the impact from your singing on the stage is that you are absolutely giving your all. I mean, presumably it wouldn't occur to you to give a sort of 80%.
I don't think I could do it. I mean, it's. I don't mean that to sound, you know, highfalutin or anything, but I can't do that. I mean, it's cheating, and it doesn't feel right. It's something to do with being, hopefully, to trying being a centred actress. If you're not totally centred and not totally committed and concentrating on what you're doing, then it is a half-hearted something or other, and I just can't do that. It just feels all wrong. It's easier to give everything than to try and save some.
Well, Elaine, there's nothing half-hearted about what you do on that stage. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. And we're going to play Heaven Help My Heart from, of course, from Chess.